All right, thanks for staying with us now. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osagi Ihanire, during a briefing today stated that there were enough medical doctors in the country and that the number of doctors produced annually exceeds the number of those leaving the country. But the umbrella body of the medical doctors in the country, that's the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, and other stakeholders said the claim by the minister was far from the truth. The NMA insisted that just about 30,000 medical doctors were currently practicing in Nigeria out of about 80,000 registered with the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria from 1960 to date. The NMA also revealed that the country currently has a doctor-to-patient ratio of 1 doctor to 4 to 5,000 patients instead of 1 doctor to 600 patients. Now, ratio rather. So they also recommended this was also recommended. The 1 to 600 was recommended by the World Health Organization. Now, Daily Trust. Daily Trust read a report. I'm trying to get that report out. Daily Trust brought out a report that the state of brain drain in the health sector, which has led to a shortage of manpower with attendant burnout, payment of hazard allowance, and outstanding medical residency training funds, was part of the reasons the Nigerian medical resident doctors had issued a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government to address or it will embark on an industrial strike. Now, findings also revealed that many doctors in the country continue to troop to recruitment interviews or centers by foreign government to leave the country for greener pastures. Now, this is not limited to medical field. We're also losing our best hands, human resources, to other countries. And while we can't particularly blame these people seeking better lives for themselves, we can't also help but worry about the repercussions that this would bring. So what are your thoughts on this, right? What do you think about the brain drain? How do we even manage it? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at WaysShow, Africa1 with hashtag WaysShow. Okay. World Health Organization says 1 to 600 is the recommended doctor-to-patient ratio. And currently in Nigeria, we have 1 to 4,000 to 5,000 patients.
Just say no person.
You'll be like, now why you want to?
Remember when doctors used to run away to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
I don't think it's new. The problem is you don't pay them what they get, their counterparts get abroad. Being a doctor abroad means you're making good money, really good money. It doesn't happen for them in Nigeria. I saw somebody weeks back, I just couldn't go back to find the picture, where he had taken a picture of himself as a surgeon in Nigeria with clothes that looked like he was working in a mine. And then, I mean, even the scrubs and the rain boots or whatever it was that was their apparel, and compared it to 6 years later when he moved to America to show what the difference is, and even in the sense of pride in being in the field. You don't pay them enough, they would find other ways. Just like we said the other day about people going to Dubai, saying that, oh, they're doing menial jobs in Dubai, but at least they're earning foreign exchange. That logic is enough to let anybody go anywhere.
So just last week, sorry, Elsie, I'm going to come back to you. Sanzi. Okay, was it Sanzi or something? I thought it was Elsie. So just last week, actually, my sister had shared a post, right, where Qatar says Qatar was wooing Nigerian doctors, engineers that were willing to migrate. The different one. Qatar was wooing Nigerian doctors and engineers that were willing to migrate. Because again, they say that we have one of the best in terms of medical schools and nursing schools. Yeah. We have the best in the world, one of the best in the world. So Qatar is wooing medical doctors to come to Nigeria. You know, so I want to understand, is this really just about remuneration for the doctors?
I don't think it's just about yes, there is the part about value. Naturally, humans and I think every other thing tend to migrate or go towards where you are valued, where you are appreciated. But beyond that, I think it's just a ripple effect of what is going on in the country. Yes, people have been migrating and people have been poached in different industries, and it's not just in the medical center, in the tech field as well. There is a lot of brain drain. I was listening to Peter Obi's speech at the NBA conference that was held sometime last week, and he was saying something about Nigeria has gotten to that level where it has officially been, it is qualified to be called a failed state. Why? Insecurity, failed economy, brain drain. And so when people find that, number one, what they're doing no longer has value, they don't feel secured, and well, the grass somehow looks greener on the other side, and they count their cost and they feel is what they can do. That's what you get.
Retirement plans and NEPA are two good enough reasons for anybody to want to leave Nigeria. When you fight for pensions that never come, your whole life dedicated to 3 decades of service, and then when it comes to time for you to relax, you're fighting the system because one government has changed and then they're holding on to your funds. If only for a seamless, peaceful life, people would move. Also, electricity, if there's one thing one government can do for us that would be in prosperity forever, is sort out electricity in Nigeria. Like you said just a few minutes ago, saying that when people waste your time, it's almost like they waste your life. Because time is the only commodity that you can never pay back.
Right.
So imagine me serving that much time and I don't feel fulfilled, haven't given it. I will go where I'm appreciated.
Let me hear your thoughts, Elsie. What do you think about this
I'm
conversation?
talkless.
Don't be.
It's not possible.
Elsie is she's not she's anti-Jackpa. She's a real patriotic
But then
Nigerian.
I'm supportive of anyone moving, very supportive, because I understand why. All fingers are not equal, and I mean, there's a lot of reason to move. But the story we're going to talk about that I thought you were going to mention was the one I saw. I think it's on UAE, sort of having a partnership with Nigeria to have more legal migration or immigrants to UAE to work, so that they need us to come and work and all that. And I mean, the Minister of Information and Culture, one of the ministers was excited in the conversation as to, we're negotiating and whatever. And it made me wonder why that excitement is in that conversation. Because yes, as much as it's an avenue to ensure that people go at least legally and ensure that they are not treated in the way that I hear they are being treated right now, it's also something we need to sit down and worry about. Because if all the capable hands are, of course, let me not use the word are allowed, everybody's allowed. If all the capable hands leave, who is exactly going to stay back to build Nigeria or even transfer knowledge and also serve us in the way we need to serve each other? Because it's just like the whole body, you know how the Bible describes it, where the eyes has its role, everybody has its functions to play for it to be whole. So if the very important part of our structure is constantly living, then that should be a cause for worry for even the government. Now bringing it back to the health sector, I think it's also a matter of priority, like we've said, because we do not prioritize the important things. I don't understand why there is this huge payment gap in terms of what a fair remuneration should be for a doctor in Nigeria and a doctor in America. Yes, I understand the economy is different, but to a large extent, if you look at the practice and what it requires, then it's almost the same thing everywhere. And this is the same conversation we've had, and we've agreed that Nigeria produces one of the best hands when it comes to medical practitioners in the world.
Yeah.
So it means that we have a product. We keep talking about, we need to export more, we need to do this. That's a part of our export as well. But for it to also be even better for those that want to leave, then we need to begin to value them at home first. Now imagine that they are being paid well and they don't want to leave, right? And then for those that want to leave, it even gives them a more better bargaining power. And also people will respect them more when they decide to say, you know what, let me take up this opportunity, maybe because I want to see a different country or because I just want to experience a different life. So I feel like as a people, we need to begin to get our priorities right. Pay people right. We see people that sit in the house and do absolutely nothing, even sleep through it, and they're earning millions. for doing absolutely nothing as far as I'm concerned. But people who are responsible for our lives, even their own lives, because when it comes now, well, at least finally they've sorted they are trying to sort the aviation sector issue, right? They've released some funds and they can fly. I knew that they will sort that issue because of course it will affect them directly. If Nigeria is cut off, right, what will happen, right? So they're sorting that issue now. But just imagine that we're in a situation whereby even the plane that you have or the flight that you have booked to go, you cannot reach that flight. It is still these doctors that would save your life first. They will be the first aid you will get before you go to your wonderful hospital. And of course, we'll talk about their equipment as well. They don't have the best equipment to work with, which is why when they go to places, when they learn under this type of environment and they go to places with the equipment, they can really thrive. So it's a big problem, and which is why I say when people want to leave, I understand it, but at the same time, I begin to worry. Not that they shouldn't leave, but me that I'm here and claiming patriotic. If I fall sick, what will happen?
Who will help me?
On that note, let's take a break.
So this patriotism, I don't think. I'm just saying because okay.
When we come back from the break, we also love to hear your thoughts on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, it's our ladies' night out, and we are asking, we're discussing the topic, the brain drain that's happening in the medical field. We heard the report that 6 out of every 10 medical doctors are leaving Nigeria. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WaysShow. Our phone line is now open. The number to call is 070-25007749. That's the number to call. Remember the rules. Turn off the volume of your television set so we can hear ourselves. All right, so Elsie, Sanzi, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was going to say, Elsie, you made an amazing point, and I just want to pick something from that, which is about payment and stuff. While that is, I think the average doctor gets paid between 250, 400K. If I'm correct.
Yes, in Nigeria.
Yes. Since when?
Yes.
Maybe a private clinic.
In private clinics?
No, even private clinic, but let's not get into it. Don't worry, finish your point.
Not be sure.
Well, I'm sure. A couple conversations with some people who, except maybe they're lying, because there's just this thing about us and lying about our salaries.
They begin to do double shift as well, which is also at risk. If you check, I remember my very close friend that used to be of course she's still a doctor, but she left the country. She's in the UK. You see her doing 2 shifts,
and when you don't rest, you're putting patients' lives at risk.
Right, okay, so here is what I'm saying.
So, sorry, Sandy, hold that thought. Let me quickly take our first caller for the evening, then I'll come back to you. Youngest old man, you're live. Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead, you're live.
Yeah, sorry, the network is a little bit uncomfortable today.
Oh, wow, sorry about that.
And useful. May God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, if you can hear me clear, the network is fluctuating.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Today's topic is a little bit touchy for me as an individual because I see opportunity to use it. And the other lady that spoke, sorry, I forgot her name, is Qatar that asked for our people to come and work for them. And our minister is happy jumping up. Imagine, the country.
Qatar, not UAE. Thank you.
That business because they have a lot of sectors that they want to open for more. However, for us as Nigerians, the most painful part is areas that we need to pump in money and a kind of, how do I put the language, people that we need to motivate. Imagine all the money that is being put in the political appointments are being used to manage our doctors and let's say our lecturers. I think people will be coming for medical tourism in Nigeria and
even school
academic tourism. I hope my English is correct. Man, I know best. You know, say we the English. So basically, a lot of things is going wrong in this country. We are using we are using our resources to treat the unimportant things. What happens to putting all those money that you pay the representatives or the lawmakers that are making law for us every morning and every night, and put them into the medical sector that doctors will be kind of, in fact, do you know that only the bad road alone, when you are on emergency, can even discourage a doctor. When they call an emergency and somebody is dying and you want to meet up to go and help, the bad road they load and the frustration. So for me, that of thing is wrong in this country. I cannot blame them that they get back. Somebody has to, your parents will spend a lot of money putting you in school with this kind of thing that we go through, and everything at the end of the day, you go to tell and say, government never pay. Before I go sell one bag of garri for you, may take drink, one bag of rice for you, may take chop. Government never pay. Who does that? So for me, I feel we need to, they need to listen and look into all these things. I don't blame those who do that, but God will help us.
Thank you, youngest old man.
Now, so, the doctors that were the best of hands, because I know someone who had been a neurosurgeon at the tender age of maybe 26 in America, in Nigeria. And you can imagine such people living in America, never seeing the need to come home and give such services to them. Why won't politicians be going for air checkups abroad, going for leg checkups and leaking diaper checkups when they don't have the capable hands or equipment to serve the medical field and they are government representatives? I think, for instance, the government official that you said was getting excited about the negotiations with Qatar. How dare he be excited that they're negotiating on how to have a migration of doctors when you haven't sorted the issues we have here in Nigeria?
We doesn't have enough.
So I was going to say too, but let me let Sanzi finish her thoughts, because I was going to speak to that sometimes, again, do we really blame these people? They do not value the life of a Nigerian. What does it cost them, the life of a human being in Nigeria?
Human being is selfish. I would think about myself. I will think about how to be better. So yes, if you're thinking of migrating as a doctor, it's okay to be selfish. Take care of yourself.
No, those are not the person.
That's not even the one I'm even talking about the government official.
That is exciting.
What value do they place on us?
If you're in a leadership position, before you sign up for leadership, you're signing a document to never be selfish, to always put others first. That's what
in which country?
Is. I think naturally. So that's why in 2023 we are voting. Use your brain, call your ancestors. So
this minister, this public official we're talking about is not a voting position, my dear.
But I'm just saying, in 2023, it's not to say people at the top that are causing all this drama. That's why in 2023, please vote very well. But anyway, I was going to say that part of the issue is the dwindling financial value, foreign exchange, right? Because remember, back in the days, I was talking to my dad one time, there was a time when, if you're earning 100,000 naira, you are comfortable. And so at that time, most doctors would maybe earn maybe 60,000 or 80,000. We didn't see any issue like this, except maybe you are just obsessed with being Americana and all that. But a lot of people were comfortable here. So if we can get our currency back to having value, someone who is earning 150, let's say they're earning 150, you will still live a comfortable life, because come to think of it, a lot of people love home. I love home, right? And so if you can take care of your family, have savings, and be able to travel, I think that's pretty much what basics that everyone needs.
Let me take Loma from Abia State.
Another long journey.
Loma, you're live.
Oh, good evening, my beautiful sister in the house.
Good evening.
Yeah. See, it's quite pathetic that this type of thing is happening in this country. It's quite pathetic that our medical centers are living. But I want to bring the notice of those medical centers that are living. If you continue living like that, we make Nigeria a laughing stock. In the international community, they will be laughing at fun. So I want to tell them, there was an advertisement in those days in the radio. They used to say, Andrew, Nigeria is now a country. We are the ones that make this country. By the grace of God, next year, things will get better. Things will get better. And if they continue living like that, there are now other ones that are about to enter into the medical line. It's not good to even enter into it. So I'm begging those people that are living, please come back. Nigeria is now a country. Tomorrow will be great. If we continue castigating the government, we know they are not doing well. But we, the citizens, could look for a way to do it well by having our PVC, making sure we vote in the right candidate that reverse that have been done by this administration. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Loma.
Remember the song of
what I was saying, he's on my stage. So let me say, dead them. Sorry. they will go first. And they will come back. Because you can't even blame anyone right now to say, don't go. I saw a post yesterday I think the person was basically saying a lot of people should upskill and get their CV ready because there's a lot of people moving by September and there will be a lot of vacant roles. So you need to also be ready to take up those positions and fill in space. It's not an entirely bad thing, just that we are also in a country where we are very unserious. Let me put it like that. That's just what the real problem is, because there is a positive to it, because your black tax thing too will happen. People will go and want to elevate their family. A lot of people will get newer breadwinners and help. It has its effect as well. But we want us to also be comfortable in this country. That your living is not because you are practically running away. Migrants, right? It's because you just want to go and experience and bring those things back to your country and also build. So I mean. So I
was going to say that, when I hear the statistics that 6 out of 10 medical doctors are leaving Nigeria, I keep on saying to myself, currently as it stands, we already have a huge deficit, right? If we had a serious government, what do you think the government would have been doing to avert this? I mean, we talked about remuneration. It's a big deal.
It is.
And you see, if we had proper infrastructure, so if I didn't have to think about my power, I didn't have to think about my road, I didn't have to think about all of those things, maybe for some reason, if I'm being paid 200,000, I'll be comfortable because it will be enough to at least carry me through.
Let's not forget that when this power we're looking for comes, it's going to come at a very big cost.
Yes.
We're not even saying don't come at a big cost.
As I do like this for my house,
you will not think of it.
I already paying for it at a big cost. We're buying this one.
No, I'm just trying to tell you
that angle.
Power is not cheap. In my house, I have solar, I have inverter. Yet I do not put on my air conditioner, because if you put on air conditioner, the credit that you it just sucks it up. But what I'm saying is, if we had a serious government, because again, Sansi raised the issues of the coming elections, right? Because it's not enough for you to say, oh, we would give you roads, we would give you this, we will give you that.
No.
How do we even start to demand for specifics in terms of the kind of things that we want? Because we know 3 things are important. Education is very important. Healthcare is very important. And a thriving economy, right? You can even add infrastructure also ties up into a thriving economy.
You like cassava?
Cassava,
I'm carrying the manifestos that I've read. Okay, sorry.
Cassava has different meanings. But hey, let's move on. So I'm just saying that if we want to start to look for solutions and we want to start demanding certain things from our government, right? What should we be looking at? Because this is alarming. Because already in Nigeria, we have one doctor attending to about 4,000 to 5,000 patients. Yeah. Do you understand? It's serious God at best. Do you get my point? Yeah. And we are recommending 600. So if we divide rough estimates, they help me divide. Let's say let's agree on that 200 million that they say we are 200 million. It's being
overworked by at least.
No, let's even say that we are 200 million. Like they say we are 200 million. Divide it by 600, right? That's the number of doctors that we would require. Is our calculator working? You know?
Okay, so what are we calculating?
200 million divided by 600. So how many doctors we need?
About 33,000 doctors.
Medical doctors. And they say currently we have about 14,000 or so from that report.
Yes, 33,000.
So already we have a shortage.
Sorry, 333,000.
333. Because I was thinking 33 was
a lot of threes.
Do you understand? 333,000. And they are saying to us, from the reports that we only have about, was it 18 or 14,000?
Less than 20.
Do you understand?
The ones that are supposed to graduate is an ASU strike now.
Do you understand?
Like my younger sister.
Oh, she's in the medical field?
Yeah.
Wow. So how do we even find a solution? Because you see now, we're not even looking, the government is not looking at this thing like holistically to see that this is a big problem. How many people can travel abroad if there's a medical emergency? Not many people can travel abroad.
Many people,
so what should we start to demand if we want to even start finding solutions to some of these our problems?
Minimum wage has to come up. Let's start from the very ground roots. You have to start calculating what the remuneration should be for everybody. What can people survive on as the minimalistic thing in terms of money? then we must have a social welfare. I don't know the grammar to use for us. The country must be able to take care of its citizens when they are in need of help.
Prioritize citizens.
But first of all, we must get our database correctly.
Sure.
Those are the three items.
And see, that's why I love. Well, I'm not. I love P2B as a person, right? That's because he has his statistics right. So when you're talking about database, he has it.
He doesn't have database.
He has statistics. See, I've listened to other people. He has statistics. Yes, the other ones. How many statistics?
He has not database. He has the statistics. He has the numbers. But let me read out what I was saying.
Yes.
The enemy insisted that just about 30,000 medical doctors were currently practicing in Nigeria. Even out of the registered 80,000 medical doctors in this medical and dental council field, only 30,000 have been practicing in Nigeria from 1960 to date.
So I want to respond to the question you were asking with regards
solutions.
to not even just solution now.
What should we demand?
What should we demand? And I think most times when they speak, you hear them say, we'll work on education, healthcare. I think anybody coming around to tell us about road and infrastructure now should be stoned, right? Because, I mean, that's like the lowest hanging fruit, right? So we need to begin to ask them how. Don't tell us, oh, we're going to do this, oh, I know how to, right? And I know that there are some things, maybe when it comes to security, they tell you, oh, we can't reveal our secret, whatever. But when it comes to economy, when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to education, there should be some form of information that you can pass that will be able to convince people to say, you know what, this person knows what he's doing. But then it takes me back to the conversation. I think I wrote a bit about it, and it's also happening online, where people now worry about the capacity of people that have got the PVC, right? You now, you're speaking English, right? Now one vote you get. The person who doesn't care, that just wants to collect 1,000 naira and just vote for anybody you say vote for, will still have one vote, right? So at the end of the day, we are sort of at the mercy of everyone. So how do we even now break that conversation for that
people
person
actually feel the impact?
Not even just feeling the impact. Also, when it comes to minimum wage that you mentioned, this country also needs to get to the point where minimum wage is based on the state you're living and how it works. Because there are people where you give that 50K in certain areas.
It doesn't make any sense.
And there are people that it makes the whole world of difference.
Yeah, so I was going to say to you that in the US,
country, it's complicated.
In the US, for instance, medical practitioners, because I have people that are medical practitioners in 2 different states.
Yeah.
So the people that are in New York,
busier
busier cities, just like Lagos.
Not even just
their remuneration,
not even medical only.
Yes.
Even in tech,
Well,
there are places you will live in, and the money they will offer
will
you
be higher.
From
Well,
the state
because we are talking
in.
medical,
Yeah.
that's why I'm even narrowing it down. So medical, like my aunt as a nurse in New York, her pay is higher than the one that is in San Antonio in Texas. The reason it's like that is because cost of living
is different.
Accommodation, everything in New York is expensive compared to, it's like you're living in Ibadan and Lagos. So the cost of living in Ibadan is way cheaper than the cost of living in Lagos.
Right.
So it's a conversation, and this is what I'm saying, that when you understand decency, like just put decency in the minds of when you're dealing with human beings. But I was going to say to us, if we won't stone them, we'll boo them out because maybe they don't come fight us.
And you know the funny
Let's
thing
take our comments quickly.
That's why I'm not in rallies.
These things are not hard. It's just about paying attention, about caring.
Yeah.
You cannot help someone without listening to them first.
Absolutely.
So listen to the people. What is their heartbeat? What is their pulse? What do they
My darling, if you listen
until
from
we
now to
learn.
tomorrow, if you don't know what to do,
No, they are not. They are imposing themselves on us. They've not listened to understand.
That was what GRV said. Empathetic leadership. They don't have
They know everything we need.
Yes, but they just
don't
it's
care.
not in their DNA.
When a public official can be wearing a wristwatch of $480,000 to a public event,
that they are paupers.
or the wife, I will say it again on TV, her friends can come and attack me, is wearing a $10,000 outfit, and your husband is number 3 citizen in Nigeria, you don't care whether or not it's our money. Comments. Daniel, I didn't want to read your comment, but they've made me
You have to read it.
Good evening, my dear beautiful sisters of What Are You Saying? #ways. Brain drain. 6 out of 10 medical doctors are leaving Nigeria. You cannot blame them for leaving Nigeria for greener pastures, but all the same, they should put their country into consideration. Considering the ASU strikes, I don't think ASU is that wicked to go on strike without a tangible reason. It's just that the federal government have refused to cooperate and play ball. I am drunk with excitement to see my dear beautiful sister Sandra in the house. You are most welcome. We missed you a lot. My name is Daniel Elo, Ways
Regular fan. On that note, thank you so much, ladies. We've had a fantastic conversation. We hope to keep the conversation going. Brain drain is going to happen. In fact, on Friday, we're talking brain drain in the tech sector, right? Because that report actually came out some weeks back, but we've not been able to get a guest. But I think we finally got a guest to discuss how that is going to play out, because banks are complaining that all their tech guys are leaving.
So that's why there is constant network issue. Like to make a transaction, I was almost frustrated today.
I did not make
and
money. They should pay salary. That's where the issue is.
It is where.
Do you want us to start the conversation?
No, let's not start it.
I will not be around.
Thank you so much, Laide, Sanzi, and Elsie. Now, before we go, thank you so much for watching as well. Follow us on Instagrams at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. As of the last time we issued the questionnaire, we found that out of 10 resident doctors, 6 of them are planning to leave or have the intention to leave. The statistics we had then was in December 2021, so it's either they are planning to leave or they have thought of leaving. This was from Dr. Dari Ishaya. We'll see you guys, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors President. We'll see you guys at 8 p.m. tomorrow, live, as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
Bye-bye.